Hey guys, this is my first video. I wanted to talk a little bit about benzo withdrawal and anxiety and depression and all that good stuff. A little bit about my story. I was having a lot of stress in my life and having some panic attacks and stuff. Didn't really know what to do, so I went to my doctor and he prescribed me, Ativan with an antidepressant, and I took the Ativan once a day as prescribed, and I started to feel good, like I'm sure everyone else has heard. You feel good. And 6 months down the road, I started getting the side effects that all you guys have and all you guys talk about, and I was getting panic attacks every time I started driving, and I didn't know why, and I was like building up a tolerance, I guess. So yeah, I went to my doctor and told him what was going on, and he was like, well, we could up your dose to 2 milligram, and I was like, okay, didn't really understand it, and I was never one for medicine, and I've seen some of my family members struggle with mental health, and I always thought, I had it taken care of. I was always the stronger one, and so I was like, I don't want this anymore. If it's gonna do me harm, and I have to rely on this medicine. And he was like, okay, well, stop taking it, and you won't feel anything. And I was like, really? You sure? And he was like, yeah. And of course, I was unaware of any type of medicine withdrawal because I'm so new to medicine, and I contacted my aunt, just for reassurance, and she's like, oh yeah, cut the pills in half and do a week, 2-week taper, and I remember that day, I woke up and, it was like a nightmare, severe, like intrusive thoughts, racing thoughts. My mood was so high and so low all day, and I just felt so like raw to the world, and and I found the Benzo Buddies website, and first of all, I explained to my girlfriend what the hell was going on, and she was so scared, and I was so scared, and that was 6 months ago, almost 7 months ago, and I read up Benzo Buddies like probably 2 weeks later, and I was like, well, should I reinstate and taper? And they're like, oh no, it's too late, you probably shouldn't go back. So I made the move to not do it, not taper, because I didn't want to harm my body anymore. And like I said, I had the panic attacks, and I wasn't really super depressed before. I was a little worried about my panic, and I didn't know what I could do to handle it at the time, and now it's, like I said, probably 6-7 months later, and I still struggle, and it's tough. I'm on the low dose of an antidepressant only because I don't want to taper off. Two separate things at the same time, and I guess I'm just here because something told me to post this so I could start helping people, because that's the only way I'm gonna feel better about my situation. I've turned to religion. I've turned to, support groups. I've turned to, changing my diet, exercise, all these mental health, holistic approaches. And I feel like I am slowly starting to make progress. And, I thought it was going to be, oh man, 6 months from now I'm going to feel so much better. And it's like, I probably feel maybe, 10-15% better than I did 6 months ago. And I was probably only on the medicine for like 6 months. And I was really surprised. And I've talked to a lot of people, and a lot of people, tell me, 6-7 months is really early, and people struggle for years. And, I pray every day, to have, my life back. And the last thing I want to do is be on another medicine. And some days you're like, oh man, what do I have to do to get some relief? And the answer is patience, and praying, and seeing a therapist and talking to people who are knowledgeable on the situation, and then just realizing the importance of family and love. And there's days, I still struggle with obsessive thoughts, all these crazy things, obsessive thoughts, like unwanted suicidal thoughts, like OCD thoughts, and the rumination, and all these things I just never had before. And every day I just pray that they get lesser and lesser. And I have some good days, some decent days where I feel like 70%, and then I feel bad. And it's almost like a bipolar thing, and it's scary to even say that, but I think that if I wasn't bipolar before, I'm pretty safe to say that I'm not bipolar now. And I have people tell me that all these symptoms, should subside, and I just want to give hope to you guys too. And I want to be a support system, and I want to answer anyone's questions or comments, and I just want to be pushing forward with all you guys, because I have nothing but love for this community. And I know that there's a light at the end of the tunnel, and I think you guys should know that too. You will have your life back. And again, this is my first video, and I want to make more, and I want to help more, and I want to help others with more. I want to help you all more, and that's the reason why I'm making this video. So feel free to leave me a comment, shoot me a message, and let's get the ball rolling with this channel and and help. All right. Take care.